Welcome to the Word for Wednesday. And the word I want to focus on today is the word remember. This is Memorial Day weekend coming up. I know it's hard to believe that and hard to keep track of time during all of this, but we're at Memorial Day weekend. And Memorial Day weekend is all about remembering, because we just have a tendency to forget. And we forget the people who sacrificed the most so that we could have the freedoms we enjoy in our great country. And so we have this time to remember. And I hope that this weekend will all be about remembering for you. You know, growing up, we'd go to the cemeteries, and my parents would tell stories. My grandmother would tell us stories because they got the opportunity to remember and at the same time tell us about these incredible people we never got to meet. Remembering is so important. And if you have the opportunity to hear a veteran's story, take that opportunity and lean in to their experience and the things that they went through. Many years ago, I got to hear the experience of a guy who was on the beach at Normandy for D-Day in World War II. Amazing story. And he looks at me and he says, "Ed, I never should have made it. They dropped us off in water that was too deep. Couldn't swim, heavy backpack on. No, I'm going to drown." And he said, a guy next to me I didn't know grabbed me and grabbed my backpack and dragged me into shore. And he just tells that story, and he's just remembering that moment and surviving and World War II. It was an amazing thing. And so when we get the opportunities to hear stories, we need to lean in and hear those stories. And for all you veterans out there, thank you for serving our country and protecting and defending our freedoms. So when we think about remembering, just to think about for a moment, the Bible's full of remember. In fact, as a church, as believers, when we gather together and we take the cup and the bread, that's all about remembering. Jesus said, I want you to do this in remembrance of me. You're going to forget the sacrifice. You're going to forget the cross. You're going to get busy in your life and you're going to forget. So I'm going to make sure that there's a way for you to remember. There's an entire book of the Bible, Deuteronomy, that's all about remembering. Moses is nearing the last part of his life. He's going to hand things off to Joshua, and he takes that time to go over the law and remind the people. And it's just constantly in the book of Deuteronomy, remember, 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 remember. How important that is that we remember the things that God has done for us. We remember the cross, remember the sacrifice, and all the grace that Jesus has shown to us. So this, today, is the word remember, because we head into this weekend. And so I hope you will remember the people who have sacrificed everything for our freedom. I hope you will remember the great things that God has given to us. I will hope that you remember that there is no freedom without sacrifice. And we have some incredible men and women who laid it all on the line so that we could be free. And then we have a Savior who offered up his life for our freedom and our salvation. This is a weekend to remember. So, remember. I hope you'll join us this weekend for Church at Home. We are going to be focusing on our seniors and celebrating their accomplishments and kind of just sending them off. I know it's been a totally different season for them, so I hope you will tune in to Church at Home and encourage them and be a part of what is next in their life.